Law of Reversed Effort. Written and published by Spark Spirit 10. Life is like a river, and there's a good reason for that comparison. Life is like a river. It has a natural flow, currents, and a direction it follows. Many of us spend our days trying to resist this flow, working hard to manage every part of our journey. We try hard to control the river, pushing and pulling it to go where we believe it should. What if there is a simpler option? The law of reversed effort shows us that when we try too hard to control the river, it flows less freely. It's a surprising fact that can be hard to accept in our busy world. From a young age, we learn that hard work and effort lead to success. While this is true, it's also important to recognize when to let go and go with the flow. Think about what it's like to swim in a strong current. The more you resist, the more energy you use, and the higher your chance of getting tired. If you go with the flow, you can travel far without much effort. This principle also works for the challenges and opportunities we face in life. When we learn to go with life's flow instead of fighting it, we open ourselves to many possibilities. This doesn't mean we should be inactive or stop pursuing our goals. It's about being aware of the natural rhythms and patterns of life and learning to align our actions with these forces instead of going against them. A simple way to practice this is by observing mindfully. Spend a few moments each day to stop and observe what is happening around you. What chances are showing up? What challenges appear to be disappearing by themselves? As you develop this awareness, you'll start to notice the gentle forces that can help you reach your goals more easily and smoothly. A helpful method is to practice acceptance. This means recognizing your current situation without fighting against it, not just accepting things you don't like. Resisting reality creates stress that makes it hard to find creative solutions. Acceptance helps us save our mental and emotional energy, letting us face life's challenges with clear thinking and good judgment. Think about Sarah, a marketing executive who worked hard for months to get a promotion. She put in many hours, took on additional tasks, and often worried about showing her value. Even though she tried hard, the promotion was still out of reach. Feeling tired and annoyed, Sarah chose to take a new path. She stopped worrying about getting the promotion and instead concentrated on enjoying her current job and doing her best work without being fixated on the result. Her boss saw her new energy and positive attitude. Within weeks, the promotion she wanted came to her easily and without much effort. This idea of allowing instead of forcing also applies to our relationships. How often do we attempt to control others or influence situations to achieve our desires? The more we try to hold on to people or things, the more they seem to slip away. When we let go a little and give others the space to be themselves, our relationships can grow in surprising ways. Understanding how to go with the flow doesn't mean you won't encounter difficulties or that life will always be easy. There will still be rough waters to go through and challenges to face. When you go with the flow of life, you'll notice you have more energy, clearer thoughts, and greater joy along the way. As you go along, try to notice when you're pushing too hard against the flow of life. Are you wearing yourself out trying to manage results? Are you fighting against what is happening instead of dealing with the situation as it is? When you find yourself in these moments, take a deep breath and decide to relax into the flow. Believe that the river of life has a direction, even if you can't see what's ahead. The law of reversed effort doesn't mean you should give up or be inactive. It's about discovering the balance where your actions align with the natural rhythm of life. It's about understanding when to row and when to go with the flow. As you get better at this skill, you'll notice that you can do more with less effort, revealing new opportunities you didn't know were there. Lesson 1. Understanding relaxation. In our busy world, we often think that hard work means making progress and stress shows commitment. The law of reversed effort shows us an interesting idea. When we feel tense, it can stop us from being wise. But when we relax, amazing things can happen. This principle is not just a nice saying. It is based on both old knowledge and current science. When we feel tense, our bodies go into a fight or flight mode. Our muscles get tight, we breathe less deeply, and our thoughts concentrate on what we see as dangers. This state can be helpful in real emergencies, but when it lasts too long, it can harm our well-being and ability to solve problems. Stress makes it hard for us to be creative, have new ideas, and think in a complete way. On the other hand, relaxing creates many new opportunities. When we relax, our bodies enter the rest and digest mode of the parasympathetic nervous system. We breathe more deeply, our muscles relax, and our thoughts grow. This state helps with what psychologists refer to as divergent thinking, the skill to look at various possible solutions and notice connections that weren't obvious before. Think about the experience of recalling a name or figuring out a solution. The more we try, the harder it is to find the solution. When we relax and let go, the answer often comes to us easily. This phenomenon happens because we let our subconscious mind operate freely without our stressed and trying conscious mind getting in the way. Relaxation helps us reach what some refer to as flow state, a time when we perform at our best. Actions and awareness come together, and we forget about being self-conscious. People like athletes, artists, and professionals from different areas say they do their best work when they are in a calm but attentive state. They aren't putting in much effort. They're letting their skills and knowledge show on their own. How can we achieve a relaxed state in a world that feels like it requires us to always be on guard and working hard? Being aware is the first step. Pay attention to when you feel tightness in your body or mind. Are your shoulders slouched? Is your jaw tight? Are you breathing deeply? Bringing attention to these areas can start the process of release. Relaxation techniques can be very helpful in your everyday life. Deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness meditation are effective ways to lower tension and promote a calm state of alertness. Just a few minutes of these practices can change how your body feels and help you tap into more wisdom and creativity. Relaxation is not the same as being lazy or doing nothing. It's about finding the right mix of hard work and simplicity. Consider it like the contrast between pushing a door open and gently turning the handle. The goal is reached, but with elegance instead of strength. Relaxation can bring about small but significant changes. They can appear as a quick idea that fixes an ongoing issue, a random meeting that opens up a new chance, or a change in how we see things that makes a tough situation better. These miracles are not supernatural events. They are natural occurrences that we notice more when we are relaxed and open. Many stories tell of amazing discoveries and inventions that happen not through hard work but during times of relaxation. Archimedes experienced his well-known eureka moment while taking a bath. Newton thought about gravity while sitting under an apple tree. These stories show how letting our minds drift can lead to surprising links and ideas. Relaxation can really help improve our relationships. When we engage in interactions with stress and worry, we often end up bringing about the results we dread. When we relax and approach others with openness, we make room for real connection and understanding. Many conflicts can be solved not by arguing but by listening calmly and with understanding. Try this principle as you go about your day. When you encounter a challenge, try not to tighten up and force your way through. Take a deep breath, relax, and look at the situation with curiosity and an open mind. You'll find it surprising how solutions come to light and how much more effective you become. Relaxing doesn't mean you should avoid putting in effort completely. It's about discovering the perfect balance where effort feels easy, where action turns into a natural state, and where stress transforms into a smooth experience. When you're in this calm state, you become more effective, more creative, and better at noticing the opportunities and insights around you. When you relax, you allow yourself to explore new opportunities. Many of life's doors open not by pushing harder, but by gently turning the handle and stepping through with grace and ease. Surrendering is an important skill. It means letting go of control and accepting what happens. This can lead to peace and freedom. Embracing surrender helps us navigate life's challenges with grace. Surrender is often seen as a sign of weakness or losing, but when we look at it through the lens of the law of reversed effort, it becomes a strong way to reach our goals and discover peace. Surrendering means understanding when trying hard isn't helping and learning to let go so we can go with the flow of life. Picture this. You're trying to push a door that says, pull. No matter how much effort you put in, the door just won't move. You may feel frustrated, putting in more effort, thinking that if you just try hard enough, you'll achieve success. The answer isn't about putting in more effort. It's about changing how we approach the problem. This straightforward situation shows an important truth about life. Sometimes the answer is to let go of our assumptions and adjust to the reality we face. Healthy surrender means not giving up on our dreams or neglecting our responsibilities. It's about letting go of strict expectations and the desire to control everything in our lives. It's about having faith in the journey of life and seeing that there are influences at play that we may not fully grasp or manage. One important part of getting good at surrendering is figuring out when to keep going and when to step back. This involves becoming more aware of ourselves and being able to notice the small signals that life shows us. At times, we must keep going through difficulties, working against obstacles to reach our goals. Sometimes trying too hard can make things harder. It's often better to take a step back and let things happen on their own. Think about a sailor steering through a rough ocean. Sometimes the sailor has to battle the wind and waves, guiding the ship carefully to stay safe. Sometimes the best thing to do is to lower the sails, drop anchor, and wait for the storm to pass. Surrendering means understanding the difference between these two situations and having the bravery to respond appropriately. Surrender can show up in different ways in our personal lives. It could mean accepting situations we can't change instead of wearing ourselves out by fighting against them. It might mean forgiving someone to improve our relationships or being open to different outcomes instead of sticking to one specific idea. Accepting things is an important part of letting go. Accepting our current situation without judging or resisting it allows us to save a lot of mental and emotional energy. This energy can be used to find creative solutions or to enjoy the present moment. Letting go in everyday life takes time and effort. It's a skill that grows as you practice, usually by trying things out and learning from mistakes. One helpful exercise is to begin each day by deciding to go with the flow of life. During the day, if you feel resistance or frustration, take a moment to think. Am I trying to open a door that pulls instead of pushes? Is there a simpler way to handle this situation that might work better? Lesson 2. The soft hold. The more we try to hold on to life, the quicker it escapes us. This confusing truth is central to many of life's challenges and letdowns. Many people think that having more control, pushing harder, or gripping tighter will result in better results. This method often leads to frustration and not getting what we want. Think about what it means to hold water. When you hold your hands together softly, the water stays in your palms, feeling cool and refreshing. As soon as you try to hold on to it, it slips away, leaving you with just a wet memory of what you had. This comparison applies to almost every part of our lives. In relationships, wanting to cling to someone we love can sometimes drive them away. When we fear losing something, it can make us act possessively, feel jealous, or always seek reassurance. This can actually harm the connection we want to keep strong. A gentle grip that offers freedom, trust, and personal growth can strengthen relationships and help love grow naturally. In our jobs, we might find ourselves trying hard to succeed, putting in extra hours, and giving up our health and relationships to reach our goals. This intense focus on success can often result in burnout, reduced creativity, and losing sight of what really matters. Professionals who feel the most fulfilled usually have a balanced approach. They work hard but also understand the importance of taking breaks, relaxing, and letting inspiration flow naturally. Stress biology is important in this situation. When we feel tense and hold on tightly to what we want and what we fear, our bodies make stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are helpful in short-term stress situations, but they can cause problems if they stay high for a long time. They can make it harder for us to make decisions, confuse our thinking, and even impact our physical well-being. When we learn to relax our hold, our bodies and minds can find balance again, helping us think clearly and act better. Attachment is an important idea in Buddhist philosophy and is linked to the notion of holding on too tightly. The Buddha explained that suffering comes from being attached to our desires, the results we want, and even how we see ourselves. When we hold on tightly to what we want or believe we need, we risk feeling disappointed and hurt. The solution based on this idea is not to get rid of desire completely but to approach our wants and needs gently, with an open hand instead of a tight grip. How can we start to let go of our hold on life? It begins with understanding. Pay attention to the parts of your life where you feel stressed, where you're attempting to make things happen or manage situations. Do you often find yourself anxious about what lies ahead? Are you attempting to control every aspect of your children's lives? Are you focused on a specific goal at work? After you find these tense areas, you can start to relax your grip on purpose. Lesson 3. The strength of quietness. In our busy world, the idea of being still often feels like something we can't have. We receive many notifications, have deadlines to meet, and feel a constant push to be productive. In quiet moments, we often discover our strongest insights and clear thoughts. The chapter title indicates that when we are still, movement discovers its purpose. When we are silent, power expresses itself. Being still doesn't mean doing nothing or being lazy. It's about making a place where we can relax our thoughts, soothe our feelings, and let our intuition come forward. In this space, we can connect with our true selves and access a source of wisdom and creativity that is often lost in the busyness of everyday life. Science is starting to understand what mystics and philosophers have known for a long time. Meditation and mindfulness practices can greatly impact our brains and bodies. Research indicates that practicing meditation regularly can lower stress, improve concentration, help manage emotions, and even strengthen the immune system. Stillness provides more than just measurable benefits. It gives us a chance to reconnect with our true selves and the world we live in. In quiet moments, we often see that answers to problems we've been struggling with become obvious. When we take a step back from always being busy, we give our minds a chance to think about things differently. Many great ideas often come to us while we're in the shower, taking a walk, or drifting off to sleep. These are times when our minds are calm and not focused on solving problems. Adding stillness to a hectic life can feel tough, but it doesn't need to take hours of quiet meditation. Just a few minutes of focused breathing or being aware of your surroundings during the day can really help. Begin your day with a few minutes of calm reflection before looking at your phone. You can take short breaks during your workday to step away from your desk, breathe, and find your center. If traditional meditation is hard for you, there are plenty of other options available. Walking meditation involves paying attention to the feelings of each step, making it an effective method to find calm while moving. Doing a simple repetitive activity like knitting or gardening can help you feel calm and relaxed. Discover ways that help you move away from your ongoing thoughts and focus on the present moment. Silent retreats provide a deeper experience of quietness. Spending days in silence may sound challenging or hard for some, but many who have tried it say it can change your life. When there are no conversations, technology, or entertainment to distract them, participants must face their own thoughts. At first, this can be tough because we start to notice the ongoing noise of our thoughts. As time goes on, many people feel a deep sense of peace, clarity, and connection to themselves and their surroundings. The benefits of stillness go beyond just personal gains. Being calm inside can really help us listen better and respond in a more thoughtful way in our relationships with others. Rather than acting quickly out of stress or anxiety, we can choose to respond from a calm and centered state. This can change our personal and work relationships, helping us connect more genuinely and communicate better. In decision-making, being still is just as strong when we have important decisions to make. We usually want to collect more information and think about our options for a long time, thinking things through. But sometimes overthinking doesn't help us make better choices. When we practice being still, we allow our intuition to come forward. This doesn't mean giving up on logical thinking. Instead, it involves adding the deep understanding that often comes during quiet moments of reflection. When we start to accept stillness, we might notice that our connection with time changes. Rather than always feeling hurried or lagging, we can find a feeling of openness in our daily lives. Interestingly, when we take a moment to be still, we often discover that we actually have more time, not less. We become more efficient, focused, and better at prioritizing what really matters. The strength of stillness is that it helps us connect with who we really are and the world we live in. It leads to greater understanding, a clearer direction, and a more genuine way of life. When we take time to be still in our lives, we allow our special talents to come forward and help our actions match what we truly believe in. In a world that often prioritizes constant activity and noise, choosing to embrace stillness can be a significant choice, one that can change not just our own lives but also the world around us. Lesson 4. The search for happiness. Happiness is an interesting concept. The more we pursue it, the harder it is to catch. It's similar to trying to catch a butterfly. Whenever we get near, it flies away, always just out of reach. People have been confused by the tricky nature of happiness for a long time, including philosophers, psychologists, and everyday individuals. Why does something we really want seem to slip away the more we chase it? The answer is found in what happiness truly is. True happiness isn't something we can achieve just by trying hard or chasing after it constantly. It's not something we can purchase, obtain, or defeat. Happiness is a feeling that often arrives unexpectedly when we aren't actively searching for it. Think about the moments in your life when you felt really happy. It's likely that these were not times of significant success or gain. They were probably just simple moments. Laughing with a friend, taking a calm walk in nature, or feeling the warmth of a loved one's hug. Joyful moments can surprise us, appearing when we least expect them. Chasing happiness can be an issue because it makes us concentrate on the future, constantly searching for the next thing we believe will bring us joy. We often think, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or I'll feel good once I find the right partner. But when we reach these goals, we usually discover that the happiness we anticipated doesn't last. Or if it does, it quickly fades away. We focus on the next goal, stuck in a loop of chasing and feeling let down. This ongoing effort leads to feeling tense and unhappy with what is happening right now. We often focus so much on finding happiness that we overlook the joy that is already around us. It's as if we concentrate so much on getting to a place that we forget to appreciate the trip along the way. If pursuing happiness isn't effective, what should we do instead? The solution can be found in quietness. When we learn to be still and focus on the present moment instead of always wanting more, we make room for happiness to come to us. We shouldn't be inactive or abandon our goals. Instead, it's about changing our focus from chasing happiness to nurturing contentment right now. It's about valuing what we currently possess instead of constantly longing for what we lack. Practicing mindfulness is a great way to develop this feeling of being present. When we focus on the present moment without judging it, we can start to notice and enjoy the little things that we might miss otherwise. A good meal, a beautiful sunset, and the kindness of a stranger are all small joys that can bring us great happiness when we take the time to notice them. One important way to bring happiness into our lives is to change our focus to the outside world. Focusing too much on our own happiness can make us self-centered, and this can actually result in feeling less happy. When we focus on helping others and doing kind things, we often discover that happiness comes to us unexpectedly. Connecting with others and being part of something bigger than ourselves brings a strong feeling of satisfaction. We should also think about what happiness means to us. Our idea of happiness is often influenced by what society expects or how we measure success from the outside. True happiness is personal and can vary from person to person. Some people find it in creative expression, others in deep relationships, and some in spiritual practice. When we think about what really makes us happy and fulfilled, we can live in a way that matches who we truly are. Practicing gratitude is a strong way to bring happiness into our lives. When we often take a moment to recognize what we have instead of concentrating on what we don't, we change our viewpoint significantly. This means not overlooking life's challenges or difficulties, but instead looking for the positive even in tough situations. Happiness comes from making the right environment for it to grow, not from pursuing it directly. It's about learning to be calm, to be here now, to value what we have, and to bond with others. It's about matching our lives with what we believe in and discovering purpose in what we go through. The next time you're looking for happiness, consider trying something new. Take a deep breath, look around, and enjoy the moment you are in right now. Stay calm and allow happiness to come to you. It may surprise you just how close it has been the whole time. Lesson 5: Wisdom of Nature. Nature is our best teacher, showing us important lessons about achieving things easily. A great example of this wisdom is seen in how a flower blooms. Nature doesn't make the flower bloom. It just provides the right conditions for growth and lets the process happen when it's ready. This caring approach always works better than the rushed methods we usually use in our daily lives. Look at the life cycle of a cherry blossom. The tree starts from a planted seed, grows into a small sapling, and eventually blooms with beautiful petals, following a natural process. It blooms at the right moment, neither hurrying nor delaying. Instead, it reacts to the gentle signs around it. The warming soil, longer days, and soft spring breezes, and flowers when the conditions are just right. This natural wisdom is very different from how we often try to control outcomes and hurry results. In our busy world, we often think that putting in more effort, feeling more pressure, and moving faster will give us better results. We urge ourselves and others to meet tight deadlines, to hit growth targets that go against natural patterns, and to achieve milestones before we or our projects are fully prepared. What if we took a cue from nature instead? What if we learned to have faith in the process of growth and development, creating the right environment and then letting things happen naturally over time? This doesn't mean we should be inactive or give up on our goals. It means changing how we see things and how we handle them. In our personal lives, this could mean allowing ourselves to develop at a speed that feels right for us rather than criticizing ourselves for not reaching specific goals by a certain age or measuring our progress against others. We should concentrate on building a supportive environment that helps us grow. This could mean taking care of our physical health, learning new things, building supportive relationships, and being kind to ourselves. By doing this, we set the stage for our own growth, believing that our special talents will show up when the time is right. Using nature's wisdom in the workplace can change the way we handle projects and manage teams. Rather than setting strict deadlines that cause stress and can result in lower quality work, we should aim to create the best environment for creativity and productivity. This could mean making sure team members have what they need, creating a friendly and cooperative atmosphere, and giving time for rest and thinking. By doing this, we might see that projects develop more naturally and lead to better results than when they are pushed. This method shows just how important patience is in a world that celebrates quick rewards. Patience has become something special and hard to find. Nature teaches us that the most beautiful and lasting creations often take time to develop. The sequoia tree, known for its long life of thousands of years, grows at a slow and steady pace. A diamond is created over millions of years under a lot of pressure, making it one of the hardest and most beautiful materials on Earth. When we practice patience, we give ourselves and our efforts the time they need to grow completely. This patience isn't just waiting around. It's about actively trusting the process of growing and developing. It means being aware of the present, watching without making judgments, and being prepared to take action when the time is right. Bringing our personal and work goals in line with natural rhythms can help us achieve better and more satisfying results. Like nature, which goes through seasons of growth, rest, and renewal, we can also gain from understanding and respecting these cycles in our own lives. Sometimes there will be busy times when you are very active and productive, and other times when you can take a break and think things over. By following these natural ups and downs, we can keep our energy and excitement over time, preventing burnout and disappointment. When we try to follow nature's wisdom, we might discover that what we do works better and what we achieve feels more important. Just like a flower that blooms at the right moment, we can also reveal our potential in a natural and beautiful way. When we set up the right environment, stay patient, and believe in the process, we connect with the strong forces of natural growth and development. Nature shows us that real mastery comes from creating the right conditions for success and letting things happen naturally rather than trying to force results. When we accept this wisdom, we might notice that our lives and work become simpler and more graceful, moving as smoothly and beautifully as a flower blooming in the spring sun. Lesson 6. Overcoming difficulties. Life can sometimes feel like quicksand. The more we try to fight it, the worse it gets. This chapter looks at the unexpected idea of finding calm during tough times, and how this can lead to surprising answers and personal development. When we face challenges, we usually want to push back against them. We think that by putting in more effort and working harder, we can get past any challenge. This method often results in tiredness, annoyance, and feeling trapped, like quicksand that pulls you deeper the more you struggle. Many of life's challenges can get worse when we try to tackle them aggressively. To overcome challenges, grasp the mindset behind struggle. When we see a situation as dangerous, our bodies go into fight or flight mode. Stress hormones fill our bodies, our muscles tighten, and our thoughts get jumbled. In this situation, it's very hard to think clearly or come up with new ideas. We focus too much on the problem, making it seem bigger in our minds, which only raises our anxiety and feeling of being stuck. The law of reversed effort tells us that instead of trying hard, we should seek calmness. This does not mean we should give up or accept failure. It's about developing a mindset that helps you see things clearly and gain understanding. When we are calm, the prefrontal cortex, which helps us solve complex problems and make decisions, works at its best. When we are calm and focused, solutions that we couldn't see before often become clear to us. Staying calm during tough times is a skill that you can learn with practice. A helpful method is mindful breathing. Taking slow, deep breaths helps us activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which works against the stress response. Focusing on our breath can help us feel more relaxed about the problem, letting us view it in a different way. Another effective practice is acceptance. Sometimes we find it harder because we are fighting against what is actually happening. We use energy resisting what is instead of cooperating with it. When we accept the current situation, even if we don't like it or agree with it, we can free up our mental and emotional energy to focus on finding a solution. Lesson 7. Believing in the process. Trust is the foundation of a harmonious life in line with the law of reversed effort. When we trust the universe and let go a bit, we allow ourselves to explore new possibilities that we might not have thought of before. This doesn't mean we give up on responsibility or planning, but instead, we develop a strong belief in how life unfolds and our skill to handle it smoothly. Building trust in the journey starts with understanding that life is full of surprises. Even with careful planning, surprises will always happen. Rather than viewing these as problems or challenges, we can see them as chances to grow and learn. This change in how we see things helps us look at life with curiosity instead of fear, welcoming the unknown as an important part of our growth. Finding a balance between planning and being flexible is important for trusting the process. It's good to set goals and intentions, but it's also important to stay open to other paths that might lead to better results. Imagine life as a road trip. You have a destination, but you're also ready to explore interesting stops and surprises on your journey. This balance helps us stay on track while being open to the insights that come from being spontaneous. Trusting the journey relies heavily on intuition. Sometimes we understand things best not through careful thinking, but from a calm inner voice that guides us during quiet moments. Trusting and listening to our intuition can help us make choices during tough times and uncertainty. It's like having a guide inside us that always shows the way to what really matters, even when everything around us feels mixed up or hectic. Trusting yourself and the universe takes time and effort. Start with small actions, such as following your gut on little choices and watching what happens next. As you become more confident in handling life's ups and downs, you can slowly start to use this trust in bigger areas of your life. A great exercise for building trust is the surrender experiment. For a day, a week, or even a month, decide to say yes to whatever life offers you, keeping in mind reasonable and ethical limits, of course. This could involve saying yes to an invitation you would usually turn down, trying a project that feels unfamiliar, or just adapting when plans shift suddenly. When you accept things as they are instead of always trying to control what happens, you might discover that life offers you exactly what you need to grow and feel fulfilled. One way to build trust is to think back on times when things turned out well, even when you didn't try to make them happen. Write down these trust victories, even if they seem small. As time goes on, you'll create a personal collection of proof that helps you trust in how life unfolds. Lesson 8. Strength with flexibility. The oak tree is tall and strong, showing how tough it is and how long it can last. Its true strength is not in being stiff but in how it moves gracefully with the wind. This idea of being strong yet flexible teaches us an important lesson for our lives, encouraging us to think differently about how we face challenges and grow. Nature shows us that real strength comes from being flexible, not from being stiff and unchanging. The oak's branches move and bend in strong winds, helping it to endure pressures that could break a stiffer tree. This flexibility isn't a weakness. It's a smart survival tactic developed over thousands of years. In our lives, we often think of strength as having a strong will or a firm position. We respect people who are strong in their beliefs and firm in their views. This method can make us and our relationships more fragile. Just like a tree that won't bend, we might break when we encounter the storms of life. Building mental and emotional flexibility is important for dealing with the challenges of today's world. It helps us adjust to new situations while keeping our main identity intact. This flexibility shows as an open mind, ready to think about new ideas and viewpoints. It's the ability to adjust your path when you receive new information without viewing it as a failure or a weakness. Being emotionally flexible helps us handle life's highs and lows smoothly. Rather than sticking strictly to our expectations, we learn to adapt to reality as it is. This doesn't mean we should be inactive or uncaring. Instead, we build the ability to stand firm on important issues while staying open and flexible in how we respond. The idea of strength in yielding is a key concept found in many Eastern philosophies. In martial arts such as Aikido, students learn to change the direction of an opponent's energy instead of confronting force with force. This idea goes well beyond the dojo. In conflicts and negotiations, being able to give in at the right time can often result in better outcomes than sticking to a strict stance. Being flexible in relationships can change how we connect with others. It helps us listen better, think about other perspectives, and come up with creative ways to solve problems. In a strict relationship, minor disagreements can turn into big conflicts because both people refuse to back down. A flexible approach allows for understanding and compromise. Flexibility has become increasingly important in our careers. The job market is changing quickly, so we need to keep learning and adapting our skills. People who stick to old ways or avoid change often end up being left behind. Successful professionals are those who keep their main skills while being adaptable to changes in their industry. Having this kind of flexibility doesn't mean giving up our principles or being swayed by every change that comes our way. It's about building a strong and stable core, similar to the trunk of an oak tree, while letting our outer expression change and react to the surroundings. Being stable inside and flexible outside helps us stay true to who we are while dealing with life's challenges smoothly and strongly. We can begin to build this flexibility by questioning our own fixed ways of thinking. If we find ourselves stuck in our opinions, we can take a moment to ask, can I see this differently? It's helpful to think about other perspectives, even if we don't share them. This exercise can really improve mental flexibility. Lesson 9. The challenge of life. In our search for answers and solutions, we often find ourselves trying to fit the pieces of life's big puzzle together. We work hard, believing that with enough effort and determination, we can make everything come together just right. This method can often cause frustration, stress, and a feeling of being stuck. When we stop forcing things and let them happen on their own, we find that they come together in ways we never expected. This principle is not about being inactive or surrendering. Instead, it's about seeing the natural order and intelligence in the universe. Like a jigsaw puzzle that has a set solution, our lives follow a natural flow and rhythm. When we fight against this flow, we create resistance and tension. When we relax and trust the process, we allow ourselves to see the synchronicities and opportunities that have always been there, just waiting for us to find them. Think about synchronicity, a concept that psychologist Carl Jung introduced. Synchronicity is when coincidences happen that feel significant and hard to explain. These events usually happen when we are relaxed and aware, ready to notice the possibilities around us. The universe seems to be working in our favor, giving us what we need just when we need it. However, we can easily overlook these synchronicities when we are too focused on trying to control outcomes or strictly following our plans. Taking time to relax is important for improving how we solve problems. When we feel tense and stressed, we tend to focus only on the problems right in front of us. This narrow focus stops us from seeing the larger view and finding other options. When we relax, our minds become more open. We grow in creativity, intuition, and openness to new ideas. In this calm state, we often have those aha moments when solutions appear as if from nowhere. Believing in how life develops can be one of the hardest parts of this approach. Our culture emphasizes control, planning, and quick outcomes. Letting go and letting things fall into place can seem strange and a bit frightening. Think about how nature works. A seed naturally grows into a tree without any struggle. It reacts to its surroundings, growing and adapting based on the seasons and the conditions present. Our lives follow a natural path. When we learn to trust this process, we can cooperate with it instead of fighting it. We shouldn't give up on our efforts or responsibilities. It's about balancing action with letting things happen. We make our plans, we work towards our goals, but we stay adaptable and open to what happens next. We understand that our view might not always show us the best way ahead, and we are open to surprising changes that could take us where we need to go. Using this method takes time and a readiness to release our desire for quick rewards. In a world where everything is instant, developing patience can seem like a struggle. The benefits are great. When we learn to relax and let things fall into place, we feel less stressed, more joyful, and more fulfilled. We start to notice how everything is connected and where we fit into the bigger picture. You can easily develop this mindset in your everyday life. Meditation and mindfulness can help us become more relaxed and aware. Writing about coincidences and surprising good results can help us notice these events more easily. Doing things that make us feel completely focused and present can help us enjoy the feeling of easy action. It's good to acknowledge that we don't know everything when we have a problem or decision to make. It's helpful to pause instead of rushing to find a solution. We can think, what if I don't have to solve this right now? What if the answer will come to me later? This change in how we view things can ease a lot of stress and allow us to see new options we hadn't thought about before. By adopting this approach, we might see life turning into more of an adventure rather than a struggle. The parts of our lives, our relationships, our jobs, our personal development, start to come together in ways that feel comfortable and correct. We work together with the universe, moving in harmony with life instead of struggling against it. In this dance, we find that by doing less, we can achieve more. When we let go, we receive everything. Life's puzzle comes together when we stop forcing it to fit. Lesson 10. Archery and Zen. In archery, there is a contradiction that captures the core idea of the law of reversed effort. If an archer tries too hard to hit the target, their arrow might miss the mark. This idea, based in Zen philosophy, goes beyond just archery and affects our everyday lives. Think about the beginner archer, hands shaking with pressure, muscles tight from wanting to do well. Every missed shot increases their frustration, causing them to grip tighter, stand more rigidly, and miss the target even more. The master archer is calm, breathing evenly and thinking clearly. They don't try to hit the target. Instead, they connect with the bow, the arrow, and the target itself. In this calm state of concentration, the arrow hits the target as if directed by a hidden force. This Zen approach to archery, made well known by Eugen Herrigel in his book Zen in the Art of Archery, acts as a strong metaphor for how we can tackle our goals and challenges in life. Many times, we tackle our goals with a feeling of urgent need, thinking that with enough determination and hard work, we can shape reality to fit our wishes. We get tense, we try harder, and we wear ourselves out chasing our goals. However, just like an eager archer, we discover that the more we push ourselves, the more we drift away from our goal. We shouldn't give up on our goals. Instead, we need to change how we go about reaching them. It's about creating a calm focus, a situation where we are both fully involved and completely relaxed. This state helps us use our natural skills and instincts, similar to how a skilled archer shoots an arrow without thinking about it. This principle shows up in many aspects of our work lives. A salesperson eager to meet their goals tries too hard and ends up driving away potential clients. The writer with a deadline approaching feels stuck by writer's block and can't write even one clear sentence. In both situations, trying too hard ends up working against you. By taking a calm and centered approach, we can reach excellence with a relaxed focus. Sometimes it's helpful to take a break from a problem. This lets our subconscious mind work on it while we do other things that aren't related. It might involve tackling a difficult task with a fun attitude instead of a serious mindset. Could also mean using mindfulness techniques to calm our anxious thoughts and tap into our inner intuition. Getting past perfectionism and performance anxiety is an important part of this method. Trying to be perfect and always getting it right can create stress that holds back our natural skills. When we acknowledge that mistakes are an important part of the journey, we allow ourselves to do our best. This doesn't mean we have to lower our standards. It just means we need to change how we view the process of achieving our goals. Using Zen principles in our work and hobbies can change how well we do them and how much we enjoy them. A musician who lets go of the pressure to play every note perfectly often ends up making more heartfelt and genuine music. An athlete who competes with joy instead of serious determination might achieve new personal bests. A public speaker who prioritizes connecting with their audience instead of just giving a perfect presentation usually makes a stronger impression. The goal is to develop a mindset where hard work feels easy. This is not about being passive or lazy. It's about working with the natural flow of energy and action. Sometimes the best way to handle a problem is to take a step back and stop trying to fix it. When we take a step back, loosen our hold, and let our natural understanding come forward, we often discover that answers appear easily. The Zen of archery shows us that real skill comes from working with the world, not against it. It shows us that sometimes reaching our goal means relaxing our hold on the bow. By accepting this contradiction, we can handle life's difficulties more easily, reach our goals with less effort, and enjoy the journey more. Just like a skilled archer, we can learn to do things effortlessly, succeed without forcing it, and reach our goals by letting go of the pressure to reach them. Lesson 11. The Achievement Cup. In the quest for success and achievement, we often get stuck in a confusing situation. The harder we try, the more our goals seem to move out of reach. This idea is central to the law of reverse effort and is most clearly illustrated by the metaphor of the cup of achievement. Picture a cup, your cup of success, filled to the top with hard work, determination, and continuous effort. It's filled with the burden of your goals and the effort of your work. Even with all this hard work, you still can't drink from it or taste the success you've been hoping for. Your cup is so full of what you've created that nothing else can fit inside. This is where the idea of wu wei or non-doing is important. Wu wei isn't about doing nothing or being passive. It's about going with the natural flow of the universe and letting things happen without trying to force them. It's about accomplishing things effortlessly without the need for hard work. Emptying your cup of effort means releasing the constant urge to control every part of your path to success. It means letting go of your stronghold on your goals and giving room for the universe to do its work. When you empty your cup, you make space for new opportunities, surprising solutions, and chance meetings that can help you move forward in ways you didn't expect. Emptying your cup can be tough, particularly in a world that emphasizes constant work and clear signs of effort. We often think that success depends on how much effort and struggle we put into our work. What if the reverse was true? What if by letting go a little and reducing our effort, we can actually achieve more? The initial step in this process is to be aware. Start to pay attention to the parts of your life where you are trying too hard, where your efforts seem forced and uncomfortable. Do you find yourself always checking your email, waiting for that big opportunity? Are you networking so much that you're feeling worn out trying to make that important connection? Are you going over your work repeatedly, looking for a perfect version? After you find these areas where you're pushing too hard, the next step is to intentionally release them. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals or being inactive. It means having faith in your preparation, your skills, and how things naturally develop. It means taking care of what needs to be done, but without the stress of trying to make something happen. When you practice emptying your cup, you might see a change in your energy and focus. Rather than feeling tired and upset, you could feel more open, creative, and aware of the chances around you. You may find answers to issues that seem difficult to solve when you were putting in too much effort. By letting go of your anxious energy, you may draw in the opportunities you were once pursuing. Many people have found success by following this principle of easy achievement. Think about Paul McCartney, who came up with the melody for Yesterday while he was sleeping. He didn't plan to write one of the most famous songs ever. Instead, he let his subconscious mind do its thing while he took a break. Consider the many scientific discoveries that happened by chance and with a relaxed mindset, such as Alexander Fleming's unexpected finding of penicillin. Fleming didn't set out to find a groundbreaking antibiotic. He was just attentive and aware enough to see the importance of the mold in his petri dishes. These stories show how powerful it can be to allow things to happen instead of trying to make them happen. When we let go of our hard work, we make room for new ideas, understanding, and surprising discoveries. We go with the natural flow of creativity and innovation instead of fighting against it. This doesn't mean that all effort is wasted. Hard work, preparation, and dedication still matter. The important thing is to find a balance between taking action and simply being, between putting in effort and allowing things to happen. It's about understanding when to take action and when to hold back, when to push forward and when to let go. As you continue on your path to success, keep in mind the idea of the empty cup. The less you rush to fill it with frantic effort, the more it can be filled with real achievement. Have confidence in what you can do, in how things work, and in the way events naturally develop. Let go of your hard work and see how easily you can achieve what you've been looking for. Lesson 12. Butterfly's Arrival. A butterfly's transformation is one of nature's amazing wonders. It's a process that should happen naturally and cannot be hurried or controlled. The caterpillar doesn't fight to turn into a butterfly. It just lets the change happen naturally. This natural event is a strong symbol for how we grow and succeed in our own lives. Sometimes we end up pushing and trying hard to reach our goals. We think that the more effort we put in, the quicker we'll achieve our goals. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to take a step back and let things happen on their own. Think about the chrysalis stage in a butterfly's life cycle. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar's body turns into a liquid before changing into a butterfly. If we try to help by cutting open the cocoon too soon, we would harm the butterfly. The effort to break free is important for the butterfly to build its wings and get ready to fly. Nature has the right answers, and this idea also holds true for our personal and work lives. When we encounter challenges or aim for a goal, we usually feel the urge to put in more effort. We put in more hours, work harder, and attempt to manage every part of the process. What if, similar to the butterfly, we require times of seeming stillness to really change? What if our best accomplishments happen not by pushing ourselves, but by giving ourselves the time and space to develop naturally? We shouldn't be inactive or complacent. It indicates a change in how we do things. Rather than always doing, we can concentrate on being. We can set up the right environment for change to happen on its own, rather than trying to push it. This could mean taking time to think, learn, or just letting ourselves relax and regain energy. Consider moments in your life when everything just seemed to come together easily. You might have encountered the right person at the perfect moment, or an opportunity came up when you weren't looking for it. These moments of synchronicity usually happen when we're not desperately trying to force things to occur. When we let go of our expectations, we allow ourselves to explore new possibilities we may not have thought about before. Letting things happen instead of making them happen can be used in various parts of life. In relationships, it can mean allowing your partner the freedom to grow and change instead of trying to shape them into what you want. In your career, it may be more beneficial to rely on your skills and experience instead of always trying to prove yourself. In personal development, it can mean accepting yourself as you are while kindly encouraging your growth instead of being hard on yourself for not changing quickly enough. Using this method takes time and belief. In a fast-paced world that prioritizes quick results and constant movement, it might seem strange to take a step back and let things happen naturally. Just like a butterfly comes out when it's ready, our personal changes and successes usually happen in their own time. We shouldn't just sit back and do nothing. We need to take steps, establish goals, and strive to achieve them. We can approach it with a sense of ease and flow instead of struggle and strain. We can make plans, take meaningful steps, and then let the universe take care of the rest. Think about using methods that help with this approach. Meditation can help you feel calm inside and trust that things will unfold as they should. Journaling helps you think about how far you've come and see the small changes happening inside you. Being in nature can help you remember the knowledge that comes from natural processes. The butterfly doesn't break free from the cocoon by pushing hard. It happens when the process is allowed to develop on its own. Similarly, our biggest successes and deepest changes usually arise not from pressure, but from a gentle acceptance. When we trust the process, set up the right environment for growth, and allow things to unfold, we can reach our goals smoothly and effortlessly. Just like a butterfly, we can change and be ready to reach new heights. Lesson 13. The Journey of the Butterfly. A change happens quietly, revealing something wonderful. The butterfly represents change and new beginnings, and it naturally comes into being without struggle. It doesn't push against its chrysalis, trying hard to break free before it's ready. Instead, it remains calm and quiet, letting the change happen on its own. This important lesson from nature shows the law of reversed effort. The butterfly comes out not by pushing hard, but by letting the cocoon open up. In our busy, goal-focused lives, we often overlook this basic truth. We work hard and push through life's challenges, thinking that determination and effort are what lead to success. What if, like the butterfly, we learn to trust how our own transformation naturally unfolds? Think about the last time you encountered a big challenge or wanted to make an important change in your life. You might have been trying to stop a bad habit, pick up a new skill, or go through a tough change. What was your method for tackling it? If you're like many others, you may have clenched your teeth, set high goals, and pushed yourself hard. This method might work for a little while, but it can also cause exhaustion, frustration, and surprisingly, push back against the changes we want to make. The butterfly's journey shows us a new path. True transformation, the kind that lasts and changes who we are, cannot be forced. It should be permitted. This doesn't mean we stop trying or abandon our goals. Instead, it encourages us to change how we see things, moving from using force to helping others. Think about starting a new habit such as meditation. A strong approach could mean having clear daily goals, being hard on yourself for missed sessions, and always trying to increase your practice time. The butterfly approach focuses on setting up the right conditions so that meditation can easily fit into your life. Start by creating a calm space and dedicating a few minutes each day to your practice. Let it develop naturally as you notice the positive effects. Have faith in the journey. Just like a butterfly believes in its transformation, this trust helps us let go of the anxiety and tension that often come with trying to improve ourselves. It helps us to ease into the process of change, understanding that every step, even the tough ones, has a reason. How can we build this trust? How can we learn to let things happen instead of trying to make them happen? Being aware is the first step. Pay attention to areas in your life where you are trying too hard, where you face obstacles, and where your efforts are not giving you the results you expect. These are usually indications that you're attempting to open a cocoon that isn't ready to let its butterfly out. Then work on being patient. Real change doesn't happen overnight. Just like a butterfly, we don't change all at once. Allow yourself to move forward at a comfortable speed and take time to appreciate the little successes you achieve. Develop a mindset that embraces curiosity and openness rather than focusing on one specific result. Stay open to the different options that come up as you let change happen. The change you go through could turn out to be even more lovely and meaningful than what you first imagined. Understand and appreciate your own natural patterns. Your personal growth happens at its own pace, just like how a butterfly emerges when it's ready and when the conditions are right. There will be times of clear change and times that seem unchanging. Believe that even when things seem calm, important things are still going on below the surface. Make sure to build environments that help you grow like a chrysalis helps a butterfly change. You can shape your life to support your own growth. Be around people who help you grow, make places that motivate you, and do things that match your goals. As you adopt this kinder, more accepting way of personal change, you might notice that changes that once felt impossible start to happen more easily than you expected. Just like a butterfly comes out of its cocoon, you will grow into new versions of yourself. This happens naturally without any need for force or struggle. The law of reversed effort does not imply giving up on your goals or becoming inactive. It means working with the natural forces of growth and change, believing in your ability to transform, and letting yourself become the person you are meant to be easily and beautifully. In personal growth, sometimes the best thing to do is to let the music play and let yourself grow. Final lesson: the art of sleep. If you try too hard to sleep, you might end up feeling more awake. Just relax and let yourself rest. This surprising truth is central to many sleep issues and provides important understanding about how effort and relaxation work in our lives. Sleep is a natural and essential part of being human, yet it often slips away from us when we try hardest to get it. Think about how many times you've lain awake at night, staring at the clock as it ticks away, feeling more and more worried about the time slipping away before morning. The more we focus on trying to fall asleep, the harder it is to actually do so. We feel our minds racing and our bodies tense, leading us to a frustrating cycle of being unable to sleep. This occurrence isn't just a bothersome aspect of human biology. It serves as a strong symbol of the law of reversed effort in our lives. The cause of this sleep paradox is related to how our nervous system works. The parasympathetic nervous system, known as the rest and digest system, controls sleep. This system works best when we are calm and comfortable. Trying to force sleep actually triggers our sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response that keeps us awake and prepared for action. Trying hard to sleep can actually make it harder for our bodies to do what they need to fall asleep. This idea goes well beyond just sleep. In many parts of life, working hard to reach a goal can lead to stress and obstacles that stop us from achieving that goal. Just like we can't make ourselves relax, we often can't make creativity, happiness, or success happen either. These states come about naturally when we set up the right conditions and let them develop. To tackle the sleep paradox, sleep experts suggest a surprising method. Rather than attempting to sleep, focus on staying awake. This method, called paradoxical intention, usually leads to the person falling asleep without even noticing it. When we take away the pressure and expectations around sleep, we help create a calm environment that makes it easier to fall asleep naturally. This method can be used in other parts of life where we face challenges. Many artists and writers discover that their best ideas emerge not when they are forcing themselves to be inspired, but when they relax and let their minds roam freely. In relationships, trying too hard to make someone like us can actually push them away. When we relax and show our true selves, we often become more appealing to others. To master this principle, know the difference between setting intentions and trying to control outcomes. To get ready for sleep, we can make our surroundings peaceful, follow a soothing bedtime routine, and focus on the goal of resting. When we lie down, the best way to handle it is usually to release the pressure to sleep and just relax in the moment. Letting go isn't just giving up. It's a way of showing trust actively. It's about understanding that some things in life are most effective when we set the right environment and let them develop on their own. We can build this trust by practicing meditation, which helps us notice our thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. In our busy society focused on goals, the concept of achieving without doing anything might feel strange or even like a lack of effort. This method requires active involvement. It takes a different kind of effort, the effort to hold back our urge to control and manage every part of our lives. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a readiness to let go of our ego's desire for quick outcomes. Using this principle for sleep can greatly impact more than just how well we rest. When we learn to accept our struggle with insomnia, we often notice that this mindset of acceptance and ease extends to other parts of our lives. We grow more patient with ourselves and with others. We learn to trust the natural rhythms of life and go along with them instead of fighting against them. Good sleep is essential for many parts of our well-being, including our mood, thinking ability, and physical health. When we learn to sleep easily, we build a strong base for using the law of reversed effort in every part of our lives. The paradox of sleep shows us an important lesson. Sometimes achieving our goals means we need to relax instead of pushing ourselves harder. When we let go of our expectations, we often discover that what we want comes to us easily. This is the core idea of the law of reversed effort, the realization that in many aspects of life, doing less can actually lead to more.